Today we're going to learn about subtracting decimals. So subtracting decimals is exactly the opposite of adding decimals. You align the numbers based on the decimal point, and instead of adding, you subtract the columns. So we have 3.54 minus 2.13. As you can see, the decimal point is aligned above one another. Now, as we subtract down, 4 minus 3 is 1, 5 minus 1 is 4, and 3 minus 2 is 1. And we have to bring the decimal point down to our final answer, and we get 1.41. Let's try the next problem. We have 198 minus 78.67. Now, 198 does have a decimal point, but it's kind of hidden. Every whole number has a decimal point after the whole number. For example, 198 is the equivalent of 198.000, and we can add as many zeros as we want, and this number is still equivalent to 198. So every whole number always has a decimal point to the right of the whole number. We have 198, and we are subtracting 78.67. It's nice to just add the amount of zeros as the number you're subtracting from, because it makes calculations a little bit more easy to understand. So 198.00 would work for this problem because 78 has 2 digits after the decimal point as well. Our first calculation involves subtracting 7 from 0, and we can't do that unless we borrow from the digit to the right, but that's also 0, so we have to borrow from the 8 here. So this is going to be 7, and the digit to the right of the decimal point is going to be 10. And then we can borrow subsequently from this one, which would be 9, and then the digit to the right would be 10 as well. So now we have 10 minus 7, which is 3, 9 minus 6, which is 3, and we have 7 minus 8. Again, we have to borrow from the left. 9 minus 1 is 8, and we can add the 1 to the digit to the right. So we have 17 minus 8, which would be 9, and 8 minus 7 is 1. And then finally, we bring down the 1 from the first number, and we have 119.33. Our final problem is 0.567 minus 0.0489. Line up the decimal points. And for the top equation, we can add a 0. It doesn't change the value. It makes it easier to understand subtracting the columns from each other. So first we have 0 minus 9. Again, we have to borrow from 7. So this would be 6. And we add the 1 to the digit to the right. 10 minus 9 is 1. 6 minus 8, we have to borrow from the left again. So this would be 5. We add the 1 to the digit to the right. 16 minus 8 is 8. 5 minus 4 is 1. 5 minus 0 is 5. And the decimal point comes down, and also the 0 comes down. 0 minus 0 is 0. Our answer would be 0.5181.